Hello, everyone. What you see on your screen is a Christmas card. It's a Christmas card that I received not too long ago. And today, for our parish of St. Anne, we have what might be called a Christmas spectacular, because we have six of our beautiful sixth grade students who are also looking at the card that you see on our screen. The card obviously represents the Holy Family at the time of the birth of Jesus, with his parents, Mary and Joseph. Today's video is being recorded right in the middle of the season of Advent, as we prepare to celebrate the great solemnity of Christmas. So for a few moments, we will have the image of this card on your screen. We'll eventually return to our six young students. But before we do that, I'm going to ask each of them, as you're looking at the card at home, what's some of the first things that they notice in this card? So let's start. Alexa, what are some of the things that you notice first in the card?
The first thing that I notice is that baby Jesus, it looks like the star is reflecting down on him, like he's like the brightest part of the picture.
That Jesus, baby Jesus, is the brightest part of the picture. Babies are like that, aren't they?
Yeah.
And is the star that's in the picture, is the star ever mentioned in the gospel? Do you know?
Yes, I
Yes.
think so.
The star led people to Jesus. Erin, what's some of the things you notice first in the picture?
I noticed that the background's kind of dark, but then the star lights the background up.
Mm-hmm. So it's in the night, right? We kind of suggest that Jesus is born in the night. That's why. What is the special Mass celebration on Christmas? Do you know that? What time is it?
Oh, there's midnight mass?
Midnight Mass, because we believe that Jesus was born in the night, and he brought light to the world. Abby, what are you seeing in this picture?
Well, I noticed that Jesus is born, and I noticed that Mary and Joseph love him very much, or it looks like they love him.
How can you see in that picture that they love
The way that they're looking at him?
the way they're looking at him? When I was thinking of looking at this picture during the week, preparing for today, I used the word, I don't know if sixth grade, you probably know this word. They're so focused on their baby, right? Hi, Mrs. Flood. How are you? Mrs. Flood is our Director of Faith Formation, and she organizes this with Mrs. Huggard and Taylor Volpe and Michael. Now, Mrs. Flood, as a mom and a grandmother, what's the first thing you notice in this picture?
Well, similar to Abby, I think they're looking adoringly upon him.
Adoring. That's a word we don't hear too much, do we? To adore.
No, but they look like they love
How
him.
would you, in your own words, because some of us, we might wonder, what does it mean to adore?
I would say to love with all your heart.
To love
To
with all your
adore.
heart.
I think that unconditional love.
Unconditional love. Do you remember the birth of your children?
Yes,
You
I
have
do.
4 children.
Yes,
Did you adore them?
yes, until they started talking.
Oh, okay. But there was a time
Yes,
when
you
you
do.
adored your children.
I can
Wow.
relate to this because I think when your child is born, you just adore them.
Just adore them. Wow.
They're beautiful.
That's beautiful.
And he looks like a typical baby.
How about you, Lauren? What are you seeing?
I noticed that the background is dark and then Jesus is just bright.
Yes, Jesus is light. Sometimes we refer to Jesus, Lauren, as the light of the world. The light of the world. I'm sure that's in a Christmas song we sing. light of the world. Well, there's that song everyone like, you are the light of the world. I can't sing very well, but you know the song I'm meaning. And Bridget, what do you see in the picture?
This is kind of similar to Lauren's. Sorry. This is kind of similar to Lauren's and Alexa's, but Jesus and Mary, they look like a lot brighter than Joseph. I don't know why. It just kinda
Jesus
looks like
and
that.
Mary look a lot brighter than Joseph. Well, moms and babies are always the stars, right? And Joseph is there. But notice, Bridget, I noticed who's holding Jesus?
Joseph.
Joseph. A lot of times we see Mary holding baby Jesus, don't we? But this artist has Joseph holding baby Jesus. Maybe we'll come back to that. Okay. Riley. Riley always has something special for us.
I think that they're not listening or looking at anything else but Jesus.
They're not listening or looking at anything else but Jesus. So Jesus is their total focus, the most important. Beautiful. So hopefully everyone at home from St. Anne's, whether you're a senior citizen that enjoys our website or whether you're a faith formation student in first, second grade, or faith formation student in 5 or 6 or 8th grade, or whether you're a parishioner who just enjoys our website, you've had a chance to look at the card. So we're going to ask Michael now, our director, to move our camera from the card to our beautiful 6th graders. And we'll talk about some of the things that you had to say, okay? Michael will let us know when the camera is on the 6th graders. We can start because they can still hear us as he's getting his focus. So anyway, one of the things I want to go back to, there's many great things you said, but I want to go back to Joseph. Because Pope Francis earlier this year told us that we were in the year of St. Joseph. So St. Joseph, to use some of the words you used, St. Joseph is getting special attention. So we have everyone on the camera. Great, Michael, thank you. So Joseph, we're trying to learn about Joseph, and I noticed that Joseph is holding baby Jesus. Mrs. Flood, when a baby is born, and the nurses and a doctor, I guess, is there, who does the nurse or the doctor first give the baby to?
Always the mother.
Always the mom.
Always the mother.
So the mom receives the baby for the first time.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
And so how does Joseph get the baby?
It looks like he's accepting him and loving him.
So from Mary?
And for Mary, yes.
So Mary, you're thinking Mary gave baby Jesus to Joseph.
I do. It looks like she's, holding on to him with her, but it looks like she must have handed him the baby.
Yeah, holding. I like the word holding. That's kind of, you girls all gave me your first impression of the card. One of my first impressions of this card that attracts me to it is the holding. Girls, look at the hands of all the people. Who's got the biggest hand in the card, not among yourselves?
Joseph?
Joseph. His hand is pretty large, and his other hand is underneath baby Jesus. And what do you want to tell me about Mary's hand? Anything? Riley?
It's soft, like on holding Jesus with Joseph too.
Soft. Is that what you said? Wow. Mary's hand is soft. And there's another hand here. What's the other hand?
Jesus' hand?
Yes, Aaron, Jesus' hand. Do you want to say anything that you notice about Jesus' hand?
It's very small.
It's small. We'd expect that, right?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell me about Jesus' hand?
It's like lying his hand on Joseph,
On Joseph. Where particularly on Joseph?
kind of like his heart.
Kind of like in the position of his heart. Wow. Now, none of us can remember our mom or dad holding us for the first time, unless you're really smart. Maybe you do, Riley, because you're really smart. But I don't even remember. And I've never held a newborn child. I've held a newborn child like a few hours after it was born, but never, like Mrs. Flood described. But I've thought a lot about it. I like to speak about what I call the lessons of love. The lessons of love. The lessons of love moms and dads teach their children. And I think this is a beautiful, beautiful picture of what I call the first lesson of love. Obviously, Joseph and Mary loved their newborn. But imagine if you can even imagine yourself as a newborn and baby Jesus being held. What are they teaching baby Jesus in these very first moments of life?
That he's loved by his parents.
That he's loved by his parents, surely. And just imagine now, baby Jesus has just come from the womb of Mary, right? A dark place that was, little baby Jesus' home for 9 months, right? Didn't know any other place. And now all of a sudden, Jesus is into this big world. Do you think a little newborn baby might at all be like, afraid? What do you think?
I think he would be scared until he notices that his parents are right next to him and there for him.
So a newborn might be a little afraid. Are the newborns crying?
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes. So when I see Joseph's arms and I see Mary's very soft hand, I kind of think that they're teaching baby Jesus, because remember, he's a baby, just like we were babies. And he learns. Is baby Jesus learning here that he's safe? Alexa, you're nodding. Tell me why I'm suggesting that.
Well, because he's the Son of God, so he probably already knows as a baby, he's probably really smart and knows that he's safe and that he'll even protect other people. And when he's by his mom and dad, he feels safe, probably.
So they're teaching him, right? Even though he's Jesus, he's learning, right? That's what we believe. Because the church teaches us something that you haven't heard yet, that he's like us in all things, except sin. So as a baby, like us, he's learning. And I think that's a beautiful picture of a newborn learning. He's safe, which helps us to learn what very important quality. It starts with a T.
Thankfulness?
Could be the beginning of that, but even more.
Well, it's not really the beginning of that, but I was going to say like trust.
I think it is. I think this is the beginning of trust. Think about it. The baby's born. Jesus is born in this new world, in this dark place, in a stable, like a cave. I think I'd be a little frightened. And the love, as you said before, the love of his parents and holding him, keeping him safe. He's learning right away. Trust. I'm safe here. Mrs. Flood wants to add something.
Well, I do, because now we're looking at the picture longer, and, I'm just thinking that Mary, instead of holding the baby, that she is sharing him with Joseph. And just the way she has her hand and looking, that she really was so happy to share Jesus with him.
Wow, now that's another whole dimension here that Mrs. Flood added. Mary is so happy to share Jesus with Joseph. Just say that, I'm going to say that slowly. Mary is so happy to share Jesus with Joseph. So if one of the qualities is trust that we see in this picture, what is the quality that Mrs. Flood just described for us? It's a simple, short word, 3 letters. We use it for Christmas all the time.
Is it joy?
Joy. You see joy in this picture. And I never thought of it the way Mrs. Flood just did. The joy of Mary sharing her baby with Joseph. Joy. Do you remember that? Wow. What a great thing to be a mom. Joy, trust. Someone mentioned before, we overlooked it a little bit, gratitude. Let's talk a little bit about Joseph again. If Mary is like the experience of joy, and Jesus is learning trust, because this is a whole picture of love, right? Can we say anything special about Joseph here? What his picture suggests to us. Aaron.
He doesn't mind that Mary's like also holding on to him.
He doesn't mind?
Yeah.
Wow, what an interesting observation. He doesn't mind that Mary's holding on also. So I guess, Aaron, you see in this picture a sense of sharing on Joseph's part.
Yeah.
Yeah? That neither Joseph or Mary is saying, he's all mine. Right? I wonder if that's why Mary and Joseph were chosen. That they were able to do that. Because eventually, Mary and Joseph would share Jesus with whom?
God?
Well, God gave Jesus to Mary and Joseph. So they received Jesus from God, and now they're going to share.
They're going to share him with the world?
The whole world. They're going to share Jesus with the whole world. So, Christmas is about trust. Christmas is about joy. Christmas is about love. Christmas is about sharing. Anybody want to say anything else about this card?
I think the reason that God chose Mary and Joseph to be Jesus' parents is because God knew that how much Mary and Joseph trusted each other.
Oh, now there's a whole other thing Riley is introducing, that Mary and Joseph trust each other. Wow. That's a whole other insight into this very simple card. Would you say this card is simple? There's a simplicity to this card? What do you think? If you know what that means, simplicity. What does simplicity mean?
It means simple.
Well, simple. What does that mean? Maybe Mrs. Flood can help us here. Go ahead, Erin.
It's like simple because like a lot of Christmas pictures have the Mary, Joseph, and Jesus in them, but it's also really detailed of like the background, their clothes, how Jesus looks.
Okay, but I think you're right. Mary, Joseph, and Jesus are presented rather simple, aren't they? In a good way.
Yeah.
Not real complex. Not real complex, if you know what that means. In sixth grade, you know what that means? So there's simplicity. Meaning it's not real confusing. Look at all the things you saw in just a few minutes. So go ahead, Mrs. Flood.
It's I don't want to use the word normal, but it seems like a picture of a couple having a baby.
It's normal.
It's normal, and you can really relate to it if you.
And all those things that these young ladies pointed out, trust, love, sharing, trust of one another, gratitude, are they all normal? Yeah. Joy, I forgot joy. So Christmas is really a wonderful feast about, as we say, God became like us in all things but sin. That's why I like this card. I like this card because in the past 2 years, my nephews have had 4 babies with their wives. Their wives have had 4 babies. So I can remember all their names. Matthew, Gavin, Maeve, and Colin. And I saw all these 4 babies. Wow. I got to touch baby's face. Like they were 8 hours old. It's so soft. How many of you have been able to touch like a little sibling's face shortly after they were born? Any of you? Like when they came home from the hospital?
Not a sibling, but
What?
not a sibling, but like a friend.
You have? And was it incredibly soft?
Yeah.
Yes. It's almost like you're scared. It's so soft. Yeah, it's so soft. That was Jesus. That's what we're seeing in the picture. Notice the way he's wrapped up. So, Michael, maybe you can go back to the picture. We'll let the people watching us go back to the picture and we'll wrap up, I think. Okay? Girls, do you enjoy reviewing the picture?
Yes.
Now, I got to tell you, if you look at the back, the picture is called The Holy Family, and it's drawn by a person named Alita Rafton. I don't know who Alita Rafton is, but she really captures, I think, Christmas, the birth of Jesus, what it means to be mom, what it means to be dad. Are you excited for Christmas?
Yes.
What makes you excited about Christmas?
The gifts.
The gifts. Well, all right, Riley, but what's the most important gift that we receive?
Giving.
We receive, but who's the most important gift?
Jesus, because he was
Jesus.
born on Christmas.
Say that again.
Jesus, because he was born on Christmas.
Jesus, because this is the day he's born on Christmas. Listen, we didn't practice for today. Can you girls sing?
Alexa can.
Well, can we join? What Christmas song do we know? Do we know "We Wish You a Merry Christmas"?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to sing that and then say goodbye to the people, okay? Well, however much you know. I only know about a verse or two.
Okay.
1, 2, ready, sing.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your King. Good tidings for Christmas.
Wow, you were excellent. You want to give them a round of applause? Wow. What? So everyone watching, whether you're watching here in the middle of Advent or you're watching when we get close to Christmas, these young ladies wish you all a very Merry Christmas, as I do. We pray for you. Please pray for us. And if you watch this video and have enjoyed it, spread the word with your friends and neighbors. It's available on the parish website and through the Faith Formation websites. Thank you for your support, for joining with us, and have a blessed, blessed Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Bye. Bye. Have a good Christmas.